In this video, we're going to be using Barrister's Reserve Waves and the Blackland Razor's Vector. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back to another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And as mentioned before, today we're going to be using Barrister's Reserve Waves by Barrister Man. And this is just a beautiful aquatic scent. Let's put the notes for you right there, or how it's described. Very, very nice aquatic scent. There's sea notes, geranium, bergamot. It's really beautiful. Scent strength right at medium. We'll show you the ingredients right there. Oh, just an outstanding scent. The cost on this is $17.99 for 4 ounces, or $4.49 there on our cost chart, which is a fair price. I have absolutely loved the Barrister's Reserve soaps. I've found them all to be great so far. So we look forward to using that one today. We're also going to go back to my favorite Artist Club style razor. This is the Blackland Razor's Vector, which has that super slim head profile, and I absolutely love this razor. It is absolutely phenomenal in my view. We're going to be going with our standard 24 hours growth, which you can see right there. And let's start by misting the face. And today I'm going to put a little cube on, PAA cube. As you can tell, I've almost got it worn down. I've been using it for head shaves a lot, and occasionally a face shave as well, just trying to work through it. It's not needed with this soap, in my opinion, but it's certainly not going to hurt. And I've been aiming to get this one exhausted this year, this particular cube. I have other cubes, but wanted to just sort of burn through this one to say I've gone through one. They take a long time to go through. And, you know, a lot of people have different feelings on pre-shaves, but in my opinion, they don't hurt. The only thing that I'm aware of that can be somewhat detrimental is sometimes pre-shave oil. If you don't use it properly, it can sort of affect the lather for some people. And some people report they don't have any problems at all. So, you know, just sort of stay aware of that. But the pre-shave soaps, I don't think they'll ever create any sort of problems for you. Okay, the brush for today is the artist formerly known as Rob, now Chisel and Hound. And we've got a very nice lather whipped up today with our Barrister's Reserve Waves. Beautiful scent on this one, just absolutely phenomenal. The knot on this brush, by the way, is AP Shave Co. 2-bed, which is a knot that I like. I prefer the cashmere. It is my favorite AP Shave Co. knot, but the 2-bed and the sim bed I like as well. The silk smoke, I'm not really that much of a fan of. It has a little more springiness and backbone than I want personally. Man, what a nice scent this is. Whew. If you like aquatic scents, this is a really nice one. I'm surprised I haven't heard more about, I mean, I know people use these soaps all the time, don't get me wrong, but I haven't heard people rave on the scent on this one. It is beautiful. Really, really nice. Or at least I haven't seen it a ton on YouTube, but this is a beautiful aquatic scent, and it produces a beautiful lather. I've never had any problem ever with a Barrister Man soap on quality. I know some people prefer some of their bases to others. For me, every base they've ever produced has been just fine. I've had no issues at all. I don't find it to be a particularly finicky soap. I know some people think Reserve is a little more finicky. I don't think so. I've had good luck with them all. And we look forward to going back to our Blackland Razor's Vector. This is sporting in a Feather Professional Artist Club style blade, the regular pro as we call it. And this is shave 6 on this particular blade, and it's still feeling good. Very, very nice. Man, I tell you what. This razor is just one of my absolute favorites. This slim head just feels so nice and nimble, but yet it cuts effectively. Blackland lists it as a 5 in aggression, which is right dead medium. I tend to think it might be a little over that for me. I'd give it a 6, 6.5, something like that. But of course, that could be dependent on the blade you use too. So if you use something like maybe a super, you might find it to be even a little more aggressive or efficient. But this is one of my favorite razors to use overall. It's just wonderful. and it does a really great job. Covers a lot of real estate because the Artist Club style razors are pretty wide, as you can see that relative to my cheek, compared to a DE anyway, double-edged razor. And this one just, to me, it's the best Artist Club single-edge razor I think ever made. I absolutely love it. Now there are other Artist Club style razors that I like too. The Hawk would come in behind this one, version 3. I really like that one a lot, and it is priced well. This one is a little more expensive or actually a lot more expensive than the Hawk, which is, the Hawk version 3 is usually somewhere around 70 bucks, maybe 60 something to 70 something. This one is 200, so this one is a lot more expensive. But for me, I prefer it. I don't know, it just feels good to use. And I really enjoy it. Even it's got a little longer handle, but since it's so slim, it doesn't bother me at all. I love this razor. And I'm loving this soap today too. It smells great. Beautiful scent. This would probably be, as far as scent goes, and this is the first time I've ever used this particular soap. One of my favorite Barrister men scents. It's terrific. I really love it. I want to remind you, yesterday we did a video, if I could only choose five artisans for the rest of my life. Now keep in mind, when I made that video, the idea is to consider only software. And you have to be wise with your choices, because the concept is you can only pick 5 for the rest of your life. So you wouldn't pick a new company that only has 5 or 6 cents. You know, they're too new. They don't have the selection that you would want. So I'm talking about picking companies with the sense they have of today, not 5 years from now, you know. So I think that's an interesting video. I'll pop it up in the corner there. And let me know what your lists are if you watch that video, what you would choose. You have to be strategic and make sure you're picking companies that have good selection and you know, splashes. Let's say if you really strongly prefer alcohol splashes, maybe you want a couple of companies in there that have lots of splashes, lots of soap scents and choices, because you'd be stuck with 5 for the rest of your life. So, you know, you have to choose wisely and make sure you choose companies that have many scents that you like. Now, Barrister Man, for me, is one of those companies where I like a lot of their scents, but I also find that I have my fair share of misses from Barrister Man as well. So I did not choose Barrister Man, although the quality level is right there. It's on quality, no question. But the scent sometimes I don't like, so it can be hit or miss. So, you know, I would not choose that one for me as one of the 5 simply because of scents. It's hit or miss. And a company like, for example, Declaration, the scents for me are hit or miss, so I wouldn't make a choice there. Although many people really love those scents, so that would be a company they would choose. So think about that when you're making your decisions. And those of you, I've seen some content creators already thinking about what they're going to choose when they're tagged. And I'll be very interested to see what you folks choose as your 5. That should be quite interesting indeed. It was an interesting thing for me to think about, and I wanted to do something that didn't require anybody to spend any money or do anything they might feel was goofy. You know, I'm not against having fun in the videos and getting out of my comfort zone, but not everybody's up for the wacky stuff, you know, like the paintbrush challenge. I think that's I like watching those myself, but not everybody's going to be into that. I think what that paintbrush challenge does show is that really can use about anything. And Jim from Jimco Shaving used a paintbrush a long time ago, or at least some months back. And, you know, just to show you can really lather it about anything. So all the constant going nuts over brushes and knots. It's mostly a preference thing, because you can make a lather with just about any kind of brush. You can make a lather with a makeup brush. Folks used to do that when they were making fun of the Poisson back in the day, remember? They bought these makeup brushes and made a lather. So keep in mind, when we discuss brushes, we're always talking about preference, really. Because you just want something to make a lather and apply it to your face. That's all you need. Your needs end there. Your desires and wants may go beyond that. But I think that's an important distinction to make. And too many times we sort of conflate the two, needs and wants. Very, very nice shave so far. And again, I am very impressed by the scent on this soap. It is absolutely terrific. It's right up my alley. Oh, it smells so good. This is one of the better aquatic scents that I've ever experienced, to be honest with you. It will be, if I were to make a top aquatics list, which maybe I'll try to do sometime, this would be on it. It's really beautiful and it's unique. I don't know that nothing is coming to mind that this smells like. It's sort of its own thing. And they also have Oceana, whichever you prefer, which I just used recently, and that's another really nice aquatic. So I think Barrister Man certainly does aquatics well. But like I said, I don't always like their scents. I tend to prefer their more their summer offerings. Their fall offerings, where they go deep and dark, are not for me. As you can see, the quality, no issues, holding the water the way it's supposed to. Again, I mention this every single video because I think it's important to mention. Barrister Man, quality-wise, I've never seen any problem with it. From the very first soap that I ever tried of them, which back then, when I bought my first Barrister Man soap, it wasn't even in tubs. They didn't have tubs at the time. They sold them in pucks. And I bought, some of their early ones in pucks, like Ferox and Seville and maybe Cheshire, I can't remember. But they were good quality then, and they remain so today. Even though they've made quite a number of different bases over the years, I've found every one, including the very first, to be very good quality. This scent is just fantastic. I am really enjoying this scent. Again, I'm sure I've seen people use it on YouTube, but I don't know if I've seen anybody really talk about it being a wonderful scent. If they have, I probably either missed it or have forgotten it. But this is a really good aquatic scent. I mean, it's really good. So, excuse me there. So I'm very happy to be using it. I think I got this one at the Razor Company. I think so. I saw yesterday, I was looking on Instagram, and I saw where the Razor Company has a soap of their own coming out. Well, actually, they commissioned it through Shannon's. So I'll be looking forward to getting that one. You know how I feel about Shannon's. It's one of my absolute favorites. But I tell you what, this one here today is very nice. And the Vector is just phenomenal. Again, it is, for me, the best single edge Artist Club style razor ever made. It's just phenomenal. There's something about that slimness of that head that just really stands out. And again, it is a pricey razor at around $200, but I actually got a very good deal on this when I bought it from my friend Oive, and he gave me a really good deal. So I got this for a very reasonable price, and I tell you what, I'm happy to have picked it up. I don't know what took me so long, because when they first came out with this razor, Blackland sent me one to give away, and I used it a couple times, and I loved it. I mean, I thought it was an outstanding razor, but at the time I wasn't buying a lot of new gear, so that's probably why I never revisited until recently. But Blackland makes some really good razors. They are in the premium realm, but they make some great razors. This one and the Blackbird are just fantastic. The Dart's pretty good too. I ended up letting the Dart go just because After using the Blackbird, I didn't see any reason to keep the Dart as well. Like but both are good. The Dart is much cheaper. But this right here is my favorite. And I've also tried their Saber. I want to get a Saber at some point. The Saber is their gym style single edge razor. Jeremy Tyler, the traveling shaver, loaned me his Saber, and I used it once, and I was like, that's going to cost me money, because I really liked it. At some point, I will definitely pick up a Saber, because I really enjoyed that. And there aren't too many modern manufacturers. There are some of the gym style razors, but the Saber is one, and it is quite good in my opinion. Man, this was an enjoyable shave. But every single day, I'm doing enjoyable shaves. So today is much like every other day, but this scent, I'm really loving it. It's fantastic. It's a unique, at least it seems unique to my nose, but it's fantastic. All right, there we go. That was an excellent shave. All right, let me rinse and then we'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back in off cam. We did a warm water rinse to remove the soap. Then we followed with the PAA alum and no stinging. So that was a nice, really smooth shave. Followed that with a cold water rinse. Then we applied our Thayer's Magic because it's made by witches. Of course, prior to that, we dried off with our Lancaster towel there. This was a very, very nice shave. The Barrister's Reserve Waves. If you like aquatics, I think you'll like this one. It is absolutely terrific. Big thumbs up. I loved it. The Blackland Razors Vector. I absolutely love it. What can be said about this razor that hasn't already been said? Nothing. It's great. I mean, so great job. With that, we used our TDR, or the artist formerly known as TDR, now Chisel and Hound brush. And we're going to close things off today with a little vintage Aqua Velva. Does it smell any different than the modern stuff? I don't know, to be honest with you. The old vintage bottles did not have great restrictors, so I used, my finger just like I do with PAA, pour a little out, and we are good to go. That's the way most of the old bottles used to be. No restrictors, but no problems. And I would say this vintage Aqua Velva is not quite as uber powdery as the new. It does come off a little bit different to me. I got that on eBay. I liked it. Not quite as powdery. It's still got the same DNA, but not quite as powdery, I would say. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I really had a great time doing the shave today. It was fun. I hope you had fun as well. And I hope you have fun and enjoy your shaves. Thanks so much for joining us as always. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.